Bama's closing in on another 4-star recruit, maybe taking a guy away from Clemson or Auburn. Sadarian Morgan, now in the crystal ball, apparently coming to Alabama. More great news for the Crimson Tide. Their offensive line ranked numero uno. How about that? And if it holds up, Alabama's going to surprise everyone. College football, expanded playoffs. We're going to look at the bracket, and we're going to talk about NCAA logos on the football field and some news about Coleman Coliseum. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Oh, and don't forget, Big Elmo is going to be on to tell you what's going on in the world today. All that right here. Your invitation to the best party on the Strip, on the Quad, the Bama Tailgate Party. Roll. So everybody, there he is, Mr. Brett Elmore at Brett Elmore Show. Big sexy Elmo. I'm at Broadcaster Mick. Great to see you again, my friend. And you're in the open. Did you notice that?
Yes, I noticed that. Thank you. That's really cool. I appreciate that. That's really cool. How are you, Mick?
That's when you know you've made it.
That's right. It has taken me a long time, but I've finally made it.
Climb that mountain. You've climbed that mountain.
Oh, I've finally reached the top of the mountain, and now there's only one way to go down now, and that's down.
Yeah, that's down. One way down, the way that Hank Jr. went down.
That's right.
You're going to write a song about it.
That's right.
All right, let's get into this right now. 2026, Alabama wide receiver. They're saying that, at least Tom Loy is, that he's going to Alabama. This is a guy who on 3 says is going to Clemson. Alabama's got a 5% chance, according to the recruiting prediction machine by On 3. Clemson's where this guy's going to end up, but not so fast, my friends.
Not so fast. 24/7 says 100% Alabama.
Whoa!
Holy smokes. 6'4", 210 wide receiver Sadarian Morgan from Benjamin Russell High School down in Alexander City. Nice little quaint town right there on the lake where Russell Athletics was at one time. And when that big, huge factory was there, that was a booming town. And now it's the factory left. And it was kind of depressing the last time I went by there.
Yeah, I remember when Russell. Remember when Alabama wore Russell? That was a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big deal. In all seriousness, that community. My dad years ago went down and ran a radio station down there, and he stayed there for a few years, and he made a lot of friends down in that area, Lake Martin, and but he was telling me about how that really affected that community. But anyway, Sadarian Morgan also plays a little hoops, runs a little track and field, and he's a pretty good player. They're saying that Alabama is going to get. Who knows? He's been offered by Clemson. He's been offered by Miami. He's been offered by Tennessee, the hated Volunteers. So we'll see. But that's what the prediction machine from 24/7 saying.
Yep. And we'll find out, interestingly enough. But if they're 100% sure, then they must have some information and be interested to see what it is. But that would be another good pickup for Kalen DeBoer. And I got the feeling that a lot of these players are going to need to get on board or take the risk of, these spots being taken, because Alabama has not slowed down with the recruiting game at all. I mean, they took a step back when Saban retired, and they took a little bit of time to get DeBoer. But he's locked in now, man. The guy's everywhere. It's like there's 3 DeBoers. I mean, there's the guy that's on every single show that he's asked to do. There's the guy that's recruiting everywhere. And then you hear stories that he's out golfing and doing stuff. So,
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to earlier about Coach. And I was talking to a gentleman from Seattle earlier today. I had a meeting earlier today, and the guy was in Seattle, and we were talking football. He was talking about DeBoer, and we've heard this comment on this show before, Mick, about those the folks who live out in the Seattle area, and they're the fan base, they hated to lose him, but even he said, we're happy for this guy. He said, y'all got a good one. What he did at Washington was incredible. And he even said, he said, I think he's the next big thing, and that belongs probably at Alabama. And he was talking about his style, and we was talking about his personality, what you was talking about, and the difference between Saban and DeBoer. But he's hit the ground running, and obviously. With Sedarian Morgan, it looks like he's made a pretty good impact on him.
Yeah, and when those Seattle people are that nice, they almost make me pull for the Seahawks, which is their favorite team.
Yeah.
We've met some good people from Seattle.
Yeah, we've talked to some great people from Seattle. He was talking about the state of Alabama and coming down and playing the Robert Trent Jones trails, here.
Yeah,
he was I said, yeah, we kind of, sometimes get a bad rap here in the state of Alabama. I said, this is a beautiful, welcoming place. And he said, you nailed it. He said, some of the nicest folks I've ever seen. He said, we're out here with Amazon and Starbucks and Google and all this stuff. He said, it's completely different down where you are. And I said, yeah. And but yes, great people from Seattle we've been.
Guys, I want to remind you that the show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort. As we hang out with you, don't forget that Brett and I are planning on being there for Boys to Men and Big and Rich. Going to be a lot of fun right around the 4th of July that weekend, celebrating 30 years of Pearl River Resort. We'll talk about them later on in the show. All right, here you go, Brett. This is the news that you and I both feel like you build the season around, and that's the offensive line ranked number 1. How about that?
Yeah, PFF released this yesterday, and they use a lot of computers and analytics and all this good stuff, and they type it all in,
Computers.
We're going to do this, and we're gonna type in all the stars, and we're going to type in their weight and anyway, but there you have it right there. And if this pans out, boy, what a relief, huh?
Yeah.
Because we mentioned it the other day, and folks talked about it in the comment section, and they agreed with us. Look, this is where you win football games, in the trenches.
It is.
Look what happened to us last year. We always talk about the center, but still, you got to block and give Bill Rose some time, and if this holds up, but man, look at that list too. Biting right on us is 3 other SEC teams right behind us.
Yeah, how about that? And how about Missouri? I'm not buying that Missouri's a real contender, but you know what? They may be. They got the offensive line. They had a great season a year ago. They even beat Ohio State in a bowl game. So, and Florida being number 10, no one's counting Florida in because their schedule's so tough. But if they're able to block for their quarterback, run the ball, maybe they're a team that could contend as well. And there's going to be extra spots. And that's something new. Here's the college football playoff schedule. Some of you guys have probably seen this by now, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I'm going to look you in the eye and tell you the truth. We had this up for yesterday, and I forgot to make the banner for it, and that's why we didn't talk about it. And then we're like, but we got to talk about it. I mean, this is changing college football. It's turning it into the NFL. There's a tournament now, so you're playing to get into the tournament, and this sets up, Brett, exactly how this whole thing's going to line up. So first off, round 1, December 20th, 21st, is on campus games.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I love it. Personally, I love it. Could you imagine a first round game being held at Bryant-Denny Stadium or just anywhere, or Alabama maybe traveling? Of course, that doesn't mean you're a lower seeded team, but even traveling to somewhere odd that you wouldn't normally go, I think it's great for the fans. I think it's great for the schools. I always, I, I I was always like in high school football in the state of Alabama. I was not a fan of them moving that to the big stadiums, in at Alabama and Auburn and at First Legion Field. I wasn't a fan of that because I loved those on campus state championship games. Yeah, it gave an advantage to one team, but they deserved it because the way they played. But there was nothing like that small town atmosphere, especially on the road or whatever for a state championship game. Um, and now it feels like, and I know it's special for these kids and these coaches to go play at Bryant-Denny, and don't get me wrong, but the crowd is large, but it's swallowed up by this huge stadium, and it just doesn't feel like the atmosphere. But these games right here will be sold out,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it'll be a big deal. I don't know about the TNT deal. I think, of course, 2 of those games will be on TNT. I don't know if that is an ESPN production or a TNT production. I would assume it's an ESPN production on TNT.
We'll find out. Good question. I'm disappointed that college football has turned into what it's turned into. The NIL stuff sucks. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be pay for play. There's
Right.
absolutely no whatsoever supervision.
Right.
And that's ridiculous. The transfer portal, and there's
Yeah.
no guidelines on that either. And then now this, where the bowl games are pretty much done. And I enjoyed going to all the different bowl games over the years. And when they were actually bowl games, but the players really killed the bowl games. When they started opting out the best players of the bowl games, that's when the bowl games really died. And that started when what was the guy's name? Christian McCaffrey decided to, he didn't want to play in the game, and Stanford had a good bowl game. He opted out. Now everybody's following suit, like they're going to get hurt in the football game, and that's going to ruin their draft status or whatever. But this is where you're going to get your postseason football, and eventually those bowl games will probably die out. I would guess, or you can just use them as like jamboree games, or think about how bad watching Florida State, the shell of Florida State, play against Georgia was, like. And that what the Orange Bowl. When the Orange Bowl doesn't even matter anymore, then why even have them? So this is what you have left now, right?
Well, and also I'm concerned a little bit too about let's face it, the attendance for those middle two, maybe the quarterfinal and the semifinal. Okay, let's say Alabama makes it to the playoff and they have to play in the first round. We're just hypothetical. So that means I'm going to have to go to Tuscaloosa and watch a game and pay for it. Then I'm going to have to go maybe to the Rose Bowl and watch another game if I want to go and pay for it. Then I'm going to have to go to Miami and watch a game and pay for it. And then I'm going to have to go to Atlanta, pay for the game, and watch it. I mean, the common fan is going to have to, well, they're priced out already. I don't know what I'm thinking, but the common fan, it's a tough ticket and it's expensive.
Well, look how late the season goes too.
Yeah, and we were talking yesterday about players playing both sports, football and basketball. Well, that's definitely not going to happen because if you're in the playoff, by the time you get out of the football playoffs, the college basketball season's more than halfway over.
Right.
I mean, look at the date on that. That's January 20th.
Yeah,
it's gonna be warm by then.
I know. I'm looking at January 20th, and I'm like, okay, what's the holiday? Like, oh, it's Inauguration Day and MLK Day. So why not have the game on that Sunday night where you have off on Monday, where you can have a Super Bowl type party? Like, it just doesn't make sense playing this damn game on a Monday when everybody's got to work on Tuesday. It's so stupid.
I know.
Or play it on Saturday. You
right,
know?
Yeah. I don't understand the reasoning with all that. And they used to use the excuse of not having to compete with the NFL and screw that. I don't like that. Don't play. Don't play the game on a Monday night. This is ridiculous. They do the same thing with basketball. It seems like
right.
It's on a Monday night.
Well, let me tell you guys this. Brett does the morning show on WJLX. He's got to be at the studio like super early. Like 4 a.m. he's getting up. Like those games must kill you when you got to stay up that late.
Yeah. It's go to get a lot of caffeine in your system, go and do a 4-hour show, and then come home and take a nap. But yeah, it's those are tough, man, for folks, because if those games, it says it's 7:30 Eastern, that will be 6:30 our time, but they drag that stuff out so bad that you're going to bed pretty late. Especially if you win, you celebrate a little bit. You're no good on Tuesday.
Well, think about now how many games you can play, right? So say you win the regular season, right?
Yeah.
So that's 12, and then you go to the SEC championship game. That's 13, and then you got to play in that first round. There's 14. Then you got to play in this round here. That's 15. Then you play in that semifinal round. That's 16. Then the national championship game is 17. Like 17 games. For supposedly college, this is supposed to be like college.
Well,
athlete.
but if you win the SEC, wouldn't you get that first round bye?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe you lost along the way. You got the potential to play.
The potential is there.
Yeah,
for you for you to play 17 games.
Yeah, but they're getting paid now, so they're actually professionals. Like I really don't feel bad for them anymore. Yeah, right.
Go ahead and enjoy that.
Good luck getting your schoolwork done, guys.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like all those years where certain players were getting their work done for them. Now, right. It's what it's even going to matter. Why does it even matter if these guys go to school? They're already getting paid. So I don't know.
It was sort of like Sears coming back, and I was like, he's already graduated. What does he do?
Yeah, right. He just plays basketball.
Does he just play basketball, or does he go to like graduate school, or what does he do?
Hey, the good thing though is that it does. Well, first off, I'm always so tired by the time, because of my schedule. By the time that January 11th rolls around, or whenever that national championship game, and we're going to probably be in there. This is Alabama we're talking about. It's over, and it's like, gosh, I just take a deep breath. So now it's going to extend to the 20th. Which is going to make my off-season window a little smaller. But I will tell you this: it is nice having to actually do the tailgate show, the radio show. You guys know that we do before every Alabama game. Yeah, honestly, it's just going to make more work for us broadcasters. So that's not a bad thing. And honestly, more football to talk about. I just wish they would move that game off of Monday, do it Sunday or Saturday, and just tell the NFL, look, this is what we're doing. Sorry. You guys can have you can have Saturday, but you're not getting Saturday night. You can have Sunday, but you're not getting Sunday night. And then make it to where we can actually turn this into a Super Bowl. But I don't understand why the college football doesn't want their game. They don't want their game to be like the main thing. And playing it on a Monday when everybody's got to go up and work on Tuesday means a lot of people are going to bed. So just throwing that out there.
They want those Monday ratings.
Well, what they want is to sell some sponsorships. And now the NCAA is allowing on-field sponsor logos. How about that?
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Mean Mick. That's what start calling you, Mean Mick. Tell you something, Mean Mick. If I ever hit the lottery or I hit the jackpot at Pearl River and I have a lot of money to spare, I'm going to take care of you, Mick. Don't worry about that.
Thanks.
But I will also there'll be signs. There'll be signs. And one of them will be my face as a sponsor of the Alabama football games on the field. It'll just be my head on the 20-yard line. This is brought to you by the Bama Tailgate Show. And it'll be my head. And I'll pay for it. And they'll do it. They'll take the money. And every time, they're in the red zone, it's the Big Elmo red zone. And it'll be my head that comes up, out of the 20-yard line. And that's the stuff I would do with lottery money.
Right.
People's like, oh, I'll buy a house and I'll put up, my kids will be taken care of for college and I'll pay off all my debt. I'm the type of person that's like, I'm bulldozing the city of Jasper and I'm going to put a statue up of myself. Nothing around it, just that. Bryant-Denny Stadium, Bama Tailgate Show, just my head right there, right on the 20. That's the kind of stuff I would do.
It'd be funny. It's obviously just more commercializing of the games. Now, we got the word on Coleman Coliseum, and it's not anything like we thought it was going to be. This is just some kind of practice facility that they're attaching to the building. Wah, wah. I saw. I'm not even going to get into it, but I saw a text from Christy Curry, and I thought, "Shut up."
That's funny.
Get out of here.
Was she excited about it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like this excuse herself, Like, well, I guess now that we have this facility, she could find something else to blame on all the fact that they don't contend for anything.
That's funny. Blake Byler on Twitter.
I tell you, I'm just kidding, but I'm not.
Yeah, I know you're not. Blake Byler on Twitter had posted I loved it, a picture of said facility. That's it right there. See that circle?
Yeah.
That's where it's going to be. And it's going to be like an indoor practice facility.
God, I mean, just go over to Foster and jog over there. I mean, isn't that what Foster Auditorium's for?
Yeah, look at what the parking is going to take up.
I know. Such a letdown. I mean, they continue to kick the can down the road.
Yeah, and
I don't care about another practice facility. Out of here. Don't even.
I know.
And what this tells you is that they're not getting a new arena. This tells you that they're just kicking the can down the road.
Putting a little paint on it, making it look better. Putting a little paint on it, make it look better. I don't know. I'm assuming that Nate Oates is fine with this.
Well, it's because, I bet he is. I mean, it's a compromise. It's better than nothing.
I think that with this new contract, and then I would love a new facility also. But if this pleases Coach Oates, and there's no telling what's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Oh, who cares about Coach Oates? I'm just glad that Christy Curry's happy.
I know. Yeah. I know. I know you're thrilled.
I'm so happy. All right. Well, that's that. So, whatever. I'll tell you what was cool though, seeing that basketball team on the court. Some of those guys changing numbers. Yeah. This basketball team the men's team is stacked. They're just stacked. Like it's unbelievable to have like a real contender for a national championship. I mean, really, like going in, we're not trying to get back to the Final Four. We're trying to win that. And now that Hurley is off to the Lakers, who knows what's going to happen? They're going to try to find a new coach in Connecticut. Does Bruce Pearl take that job? His name's popping up there. Think about that. that possibility. Then all of a sudden, I mean, and I've told you guys, and you know this, Brett, I like him. I mean, I think he's a good coach. If he leaves, they're not going to be able to go find another guy that would never have came to their school, but got kicked off for, NCAA violations and needed a place to land.
Right. Yeah. No, that's serious. And I too like Bruce Pearl. I think he's a great coach.
All right. Well, let me throw this up here, guys. Go there and put some money down on Bama basketball, right? Pearl River Resort, the sports book at Pearl River Resort. It's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa and pretty close to anywhere. It's in Philadelphia, Mississippi, but they have an excellent golf course called Dancing Rabbit. You get a $40 round of golf at the Augusta you can play for placing a $50 bet at the sports book, which I think is fantastic. I mean, just get your receipt from that and boom, you're off and going. That deal runs April 1st to August 31st. So all golf season long, you can do that. Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. Check it out online, Pearl River Resort. And don't forget that they're celebrating 30 years there. And we appreciate their support of our channel. All right, when we come back, and the show's not going anywhere. We're just going to take a quick break. And when we come back, it'll be a different show. We're not going to be talking about as much about Alabama. We're going to be talking about what's going on today. We do this for you guys. We do this for you guys because we want you to be well-rounded. And the way that we do that is we talk a lot of Alabama, and then it's the people that don't want to be well-rounded can roll out, and the people that do, stick with us. Get in the comment section, hang. But when we come back, that guy over there takes the helm, and I get out of the way. Roll Tide, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
To Pearl River Resort.
Escape to Pearl River Resort. And that's where we'll be escaping to, and hope you will join us. Today in history, today is the 7th day of June 2024. Got a lot of celebrities celebrating a birthday today. Allen Iverson, former NBA star, is 49 today.
Practice.
Yeah.
We're talking about practice. Practice. I think Allen Iverson is the best ball handler I've ever seen with a basketball.
Yeah.
Do you ever remember? I mean, like he was so good with the ball.
Yep. He was, and he was a great player.
I call that handles. He had just amazing handles.
He had great handles. Bear Grylls is 50. British adventurer, author, TV personality. Also another funny guy, Michael Cera. Cera is celebrating his 36th birthday today. He was on Superbad. Have you seen that movie?
Oh, yeah. Which is the curly hair guy?
No.
Okay.
The other guy.
The skinny dude.
Yeah, the skinny dude.
Okay.
He's 36 today.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
My son drew a picture, and it reminded me of the guy drawing the pictures in Superbad. Got sent home from school, and I'm like, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I don't think it is what you guys think you think it is, but it did resemble something that might have been in that movie. And I just remember, like, as a parent, I'm like, okay, no, but then I'm laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And kids are so funny, But the older he gets, and this was probably like third grade. The older he gets, I'm like, maybe,
Yeah.
he's got a very adult sense of humor, but I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
great movie.
My son too. Jenny Jones, former talk show hostess, is 78 today. I can't believe Jenny Jones is 78.
Remember when it was like Oprah after Donahue, right? Donahue, then Oprah, and then everybody had a show.
Jenny,
Ricky Lake, Jerry had one, and then it just got to the point where everything on. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Everybody had a show, and it would just be like how it was a race to find crazy people to come on the show and
Jerry
talk.
Springer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
they had some
his
folks from all.
bodyguard had one, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Steve.
There was some folks from Parrish, Alabama on right here in Walker County on Jerry Springer one time. I think we've had more than a couple of people from around here on there. Anyway, Tom Jones is 84 today. What's new, pussycat?
Yeah, Tom Jones. What we all look, all of us are in this boat, Brett. All of us have had stuff happen in our families or in our life that is less than it could be humiliating, maybe something that you don't want to go public with. But
go ahead and spill the beans, Mick. I want to
know.
know.
What I'm saying is that these people decided to get on shows and tell on themselves. How much money would it take for you to get on there and, confess to whatever, something that crazy that's happened to you on a TV show like that?
Look, Mick, and this may surprise you. I know people that have been on Jenny Jones, Jerry Springer. I don't know this one personally. I know a person that has been on divorce court personally, and I know a person that has been on Judge Joe Brown personally, all from Walker County. And I was talking to the guy that was on divorce court, and him and his ex-wife, they flew them both up there, treated them well, gave them a little bit of money, and boom, got a free trip out of it. And I'm sure I'd do it. Why not? Would you?
I mean, look, my number's probably about $50,000.
Oh, you're not getting that. No, you're not getting.
That means you're not going to see me on there. All right.
Yeah.
Then you were talking about Tom Jones. We're going to Vegas. Does he still have a Vegas act?
No, but Wayne Newton does. I noticed.
Okay. All right.
And Fat Elvis. I'm gonna approach this guy because he stole my idea. But anyway, Jenny Jones and all this other stuff. And Babe Alert, Anna Kournikova is celebrating her 43rd. Oh.
Yeah, very, very, very attractive. I mean, she was like a tennis player and like a supermodel type looking, tennis player. Did she ever win? I mean, she got all the attention.
I don't care if she won or not.
Yeah, I don't know that she won many of the tournaments, but her matches were definitely, well attended.
Worth watching. Liam Neeson is 72 today. Great actor.
Yeah.
Great actor.
He's kind of like the guy who does like the movies where his daughter gets kidnapped and then he goes and finds her and all that.
He was on Taken.
Yeah, Taken. Yeah, right. And he's just like he's like a kind of like a normal type guy, but you've like pushed him over the edge, and now you better watch out. Hell's coming with him.
Hell's coming with me.
Just the normal guy, like he's just doing his normal thing, like just normal stuff. Like I'm gonna go to the Metro Diner, get me a little something to eat. I'm gonna get home, watch the Bama Tailgate Daily Show, kick back, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose.
Something sinister happens.
Sinister.
Something sinister happens in my life.
Yeah,
and then I have to take action.
Yeah.
Dave Navarro, the guitarist from Jane's Addiction, 57 today. Man.
Yeah.
Something I notice about these birthday lists, every year, everyone gets about a year older.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I listened to your radio show yesterday, and you played Been Caught Stealing by Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
Been caught stealing once when I was 5.
Yeah. And finally, Bill Hader. He is, of course, Saturday Night Live. 46 today.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
Who's the guy? Keenan.
Yeah,
that's my guy, man. I think he's funny.
Yeah, from Keenan and Kel.
Yeah, I like him, man.
He
just has he has I have the very same sense of humor. So a lot of the stuff he does would make me laugh. Yeah. And you probably laugh at him too. I don't laugh at that show a whole lot anymore, but I will laugh at him. Like he's pretty funny.
Yeah. Today is Daniel Boone Day. because in 1769 he began to explore present-day Kentucky.
Yeah, well, great. Do you believe in like coonskin caps? Wasn't he like a coonskin cap guy?
Well, yeah, that's what he wore.
Yeah.
Yeah. If my hair gets too long, it starts to look like a coonskin cap.
Hey, what do we have to do to get you to grow a rat tail?
I had a rat tail when I was a kid. What are you laughing at?
But not a little one, a big one. Because you're right. I could totally see that as a coonskin cap. If you would just let like the back of it grow, I think that it could turn into a coonskin cap, and I think people would love that. Though everything from the '80s is back in style, but not as I don't know. Maybe instead of calling it a rat tail, maybe we'll call it a coonskin rat, a coon tail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's just like literally like a coon, like a raccoon tail.
Raccoon tail, yeah. I don't know if I would be game for that. I would think about
Everybody would know who you are. I mean, and in Walker County, nobody would think they wouldn't think anything of it.
They would not think twice about it. I was coming into work. I was going back to the office yesterday, and walking across the parking lot was this guy walking into Harbor Freight. He was probably about 60, and he was rocking one of the most exquisite mullets I've ever seen. It was fine in the front, and then he had that long in the back. Man, it was exquisite.
We were in Chicago for a dead show, Dead and Company, and we went to after the show. We went to Taco Bell, and there was a guy there that had you talk about a great mullet. I'm talking about it was one of the best mullets ever.
Yeah.
And my friend Bricken looked at him and he goes, everything was quiet. Everybody's ordering food. It was the only place open. And then Bricken looks at the guy and he goes, that's a great mullet.
Yeah. I've taken pictures of guys with mullets at festivals before. It's just one of my things.
like this, like tip of the cap.
Yeah, tip of the cap to you, sir. That is a fine mullet. And I don't think I've ever told you this story, Big, but I have to cut my hair like once every 3 weeks. My hair grows fast and it is extremely thick. And I let it get out of hand there one time where it was pretty grisly. And my beard, I grew up my beard, and I looked like a serial killer. And
Looks like somebody who's been hanging out in the basement for a long time.
Right. So after one of the ball games, I was watching the Saban interview from behind, and people saw me on TV, but I looked like a serial killer, and I went viral on Twitter, and there was like, who is this guy behind Saban? And they put my face like all over the screen. This one dude, like I was everywhere. That's like, who is this serial killer looking dude? And I was coming back from the ball game.
We need that here.
I was coming back from the ball game, and my friend sent me a text and said, dude, you're going viral on Twitter. And I was like, for what? And he sent me that picture. I need to find that. I think I saved that somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was crazy.
That is funny.
But today's National Chocolate Ice Cream Day.
Yeah, I had yesterday. I had orange, like the orange sickle ice cream from Freddy's. Oh my gosh, with a little bit of whipped cream. So good, dude. So good.
I had something too yesterday. And it was so good. Today is National VCR Day. I still have some tapes that I'd love to transfer. I think I'm going to get into the business of doing that, actually. Transferring old VCR tapes to digital. So Young hit me up for that. I'm just plugging that. I may do that. Today is also National Junebug Day. Not like the cicadas. National Donut Day. There's nothing like having a National Chocolate Ice Cream Day and National Donut Day on the same day.
Yeah, there's other days where we don't have anything.
Right.
What do you think, though, when you talk about like donuts. What's the best donut to you? I mean, like I've always been Krispy Kreme, chocolate glazed, right? But then there's these donuts in Fairhope called Licking Good Donuts. They're really good. It's kind of like a smaller joint. They have them down at the beach too.
Mm-hmm.
I was never a Dunkin' Donut guy, but my son loves Dunkin' Donuts for some reason.
We have a Dunkin' Donuts here, and it's okay.
Have you heard of Bigfoot Donuts?
I have heard of Bigfoot Donuts.
Yelp
actually.
said that they're the best donuts in the state of Alabama. They're in Huntsville.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll drive there for that. But we have it like a Daylight Donuts here, and they're really good. They're really good. This day in history, let's just take a look at a couple of different things. The singer Prince was born on this day in 1958.
Oh man, Prince and the Purple Rain. Prince is one of the, I think Prince is kind of one of our lifetime, one of the Mount Rushmore of artists. And now that did you see where they have like the baseball team playing under black lights? They call it cosmic baseball. The guy that you would think would be great, like cosmic concert, would be Prince. You hear stories where he wanted to play in the dark, like he didn't want people to look at him or whatever. But what if you would have had all those crazy outfits and then, you would play like a neon or like a black light. The other thing when I think of Prince is on the Chappelle Show.
I was going to say, do you want to play a game of basketball?
Yeah, where him and the Revolution beat Charlie Murphy and his friends in hoops and then served them pancakes. That is like
so funny.
Elevated Prince's coolness to me. Like it was like not only they're all wearing blouses and everything, and then Prince goes out there and starts draining jumpers on all those guys.
Right. Probably one of the best Super Bowl halftime shows too.
Yeah,
In great. The rain,
love him. Purple Rain,
so cool.
Yeah.
1999, the FBI put terrorist mastermind Osama bin Laden on the list of 10 most wanted fugitives. He later met his demise. Thank God.
Yeah, terrible. There's some people like evil's alive, man, and it's those guys are like, oh man, terrible.
But anyway, that's pretty much a look at this day in history.
Yeah, you're gonna have to mix some good stuff at the end of the show instead of serial killers, because I feel like we're sending everyone off to not have a good day because you just told them about Jeffrey Dahmer was the last thing you told them about. Hey, I got an idea. Who was it?
Osama bin Laden.
Oh, Osama bin Laden. Okay, so I heard it wrong.
Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, okay. 2002. I could have went with 2002. Michael Skakel was convicted of beating his neighbor Martha Moxley to death in 1975. The two were 15 at the time. I could have ended with that, and I could have also ended with
Osama bin Laden. How did I get? I heard a serial killer. It shows you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like I got to end the show here, and then that's such bad form. Yeah, Osama bin Laden, terrible.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a good day, and because guess what, folks? It's Friday.
Yep. Roll Tide, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.